So 2016 is wrapping up, and a lot of people have said that 2016 sucked. Well, I'm here to say that 2016 was pretty awesome, and it afforded me some pretty awesome opportunities that I've never had before, and so far 2016 was actually one of my favorite years ever, and here's why. I started the year like any other year where it's just going back from winter break, going to school again, which yeah, that part did suck, but everyone has to do it. Fast forward a couple months and I'm just wrapping up the school year and I decide on a whim to apply for this internship at Techno Buffalo. And it was just totally on a whim. I thought there's no way this is ever gonna work out, but I'm gonna apply. So I apply and I got it. And a lot of you guys know this, but I actually did end up interning at Techno Buffalo this summer. So that involved a long road trip out, first to San Francisco to visit some colleges. We saw Berkeley and Stanford, and then down south from there all the way down to Los Angeles or Irvine, California, if you know where that is. In Irvine, I was staying with this host family that was super nice and let me live in their house. They gave me a room and said, yeah, you're basically part of our family for the 2 months that you're here. Thank you, Fleming family, if you're watching. It's really awesome of you to have done that, and you're really the only reason I was able to actually go out to California, and I'm forever grateful for that. So, well, I did do a lot at Techno Buffalo and learned a ton. Thank you, John and Ralph and Niven and Andrew and Ron and Denny and Brandon and Roy. All these countless people that taught me so much and invited me into their office and let me work on their videos. I also did a lot of other cool stuff while I was in California. I had the opportunity to go to VidCon, actually met up with some other YouTubers that I watch a lot, most notably Devin Supertramp, Stuart Edge, Justin Escalona, and a ton of other people that I never really thought I'd meet other than Justin, but a lot of people that I never thought that I would meet. Aside from VidCon, I got to meet up with Taiga Fukuyama, a friend of mine who's been my friend for about the past year now on YouTube, and it was fun to actually get to meet him in person and hang out with him rather than just like hangouts calls and stuff like that. And thank you to all of my friends in California, Joey and Johnny and Takeru, Emery, Marwan, everyone who just kind of invited me into their friend group because I was an outsider, but it was nice to have friends my own age to hang out with on the weekends and whatnot. So thank you guys. You made this year awesome. So this year I've actually traveled a lot of really cool places that I've never been before or have been, but it was nice to be back at. One of those places was Mexico for spring break. I made a video there. It was my first time bringing the drone somewhere other than just my house, so I'll put some cool drone footage in, and that was a really cool opportunity to fly the drone and just make a travel video, which isn't something I normally do. I got to visit the Bonneville Salt Flats, and that actually happened accidentally. We were driving out to California and it was time to do like a driver change, rest stop, and we pulled off, and the rest stop we stopped at was actually Bonneville Salt Flats. And this is something that I have wanted to visit forever, but it wasn't even in my mind when we were traveling out there. I remember watching Casey Neistat's video like 3 or 4 years ago now, where he did one for Mercedes out on the Salt Flats, and once I saw that, I'm like, I want to visit this place, and I ended up being able to visit this year. The Salt Flats are just covered by a few inches of water, so it is absolutely stunning. It's like a massive mirror as far as you can see, with mountains in the horizons. Aside from that, I got to see so much of the country that I've never seen before. I realized that Nebraska is incredibly boring. I'm sorry if you're from Nebraska, but it's true. after this summer, I came back with all this new knowledge that I've gained from my time at Techno Buffalo and then just filming out with friends. And I feel like my YouTube channel has bumped up in quality just over the course of the year, even over the course of the past few months, whether that be just because I got better gear, better audio gear, or because I learned techniques. So I came back from California and I actually went up north to Wisconsin for a week right afterwards, like 2 or 3 days afterwards. And we did a trip there to my mom's college roommate's lake house. We go every year, and I brought the camera and I filmed some cool stuff. I'll put some drone footage in right now. It was so much fun just to relax and be with family and family friends for a week after I hadn't seen them all summer. So as summer wrapped up, it was time to go back to school. I am a senior in high school now, which means that it is time to start thinking about college, and I do plan to go to college in late 2017. However, I have not committed to any schools yet. My number one choice right now is University of Southern California, and I'm hoping 2017 affords me that opportunity. And then just on top of that, one last thing to wrap up the year that is amazing is the Cubs won the World Series. First time in 108 years that they did that. So anyone that says 2016 sucked, you're wrong. The Cubs won the World Series. My friends and I went downtown to the Cubs parade, and we actually stood right outside of Wrigley Field. I was right up against the barrier and got to see all of these great players that just won the World Series really close. They were probably about 15-20 feet away from me coming down the street. They come past, everyone is cheering, it is amazing. And then as soon as they're past, we rushed on over to try to get into Grant Park. We didn't actually manage to get into Grant Park, but we were in the streets around the area, and it was so much fun. So many people in blue and red repping the Cubbies, and it was just a perfect way to wrap up the year and the baseball season and end the curse. So anyone that said 2016 sucked, you're wrong. 2016 was probably the best year I've ever had. I want to continue that into 2017. I want 2017 to be a year of growth for my channel. I know we experienced a lot of growth. We doubled in size from 500 to 1,000 subscribers this year, and I want to take that to the next level and go from 1,000 all the way to 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2017. Until next time, this has been Dan from DGTech, and I thank you all so much for your support in 2016 and your anticipated continued support into 2017. You can click here to subscribe and click here to watch my last video. See you next year. Peace.